How do you develop a sales mindset? In this video, I want to help you to understand how to build your business, to get more clients, to increase your ability to bring in more leads, and ultimately help you to make more money. And developing a sales mindset is very important. Now, I'm going to take a step back for a second and just talk to you about training. If your clients come to the gym and they work out, they do a training session, and you know they just need to do more to get more out of the gym. They need to push that little bit harder, but they need to come into the gym with a mindset focused on results. But they're just coming in and training. Well, they just don't value it. So they'll come in and they'll do a workout and they'll do the bare minimum, and then they'll go home and they'll wonder why their results aren't really progressing that much. And as a coach, I've always felt it my responsibility to not only show people that more is possible, but to help them understand why they're making the decisions that they're making right now. Because here's the deal. Every single person that I've ever trained with can do more. Unless there is a genetic or a physical reason why they're unable to do something, I know they've all got more in the tank. So I need to help them see the value in it and then show them how to get it. And the reason why I use that is because you're a coach. You get what I've just said to you. But in sales, you're just not really that driven. You're not really that pushing hard. You know, you maybe put your content out, maybe you train your clients, maybe you do your check-ins, maybe you focus on your education. But the number one thing that's frustrating you is that you're not making any more money. You're not getting a lot more clients into the business. And let me just ask you, do a quick audit. Out of let's say you work a 5-day week. How many hours throughout that day are you pushing leads, booked calls, sales calls, revenue generated into the business? Just say to yourself, how often am I pushing that? Yeah, I don't do it enough. And that's what I hear all the time. I don't do it enough. The reason you don't do it enough is the reason why your clients don't follow their nutrition and training hard enough is because they don't value it. So I could sit here and talk about sales mindset. It's about wanting money. It's about being committed. It's about focusing on wealth. That's all good and well, but you're just going to be motivated for this short term in the video and then disappear and go back to where you are, which is not where you want to be, right? So let's go back to what I was saying. If you're not focused on sales, money, leads, and sales calls, you don't value it. So how do we change what we value? It first starts with identifying what you truly do value the most. Truly do value the most. Now, throughout my career, I valued, especially through my coaching, I valued coaching clients. You may be exactly the same as me where I was at the earlier stage of my career. I absolutely adore coaching. The other thing that I absolutely adored was education, because I really wasn't that intelligent when I started the fitness industry. I would never class myself as hyper intelligent. I just keep doing stuff because I love it. When you keep doing something that you enjoy, you get better at it. So I value coaching. I valued my education, learning, and I really, really, really value bodybuilding, training in the gym. So I had these 3 areas that I valued the most. Now, this takes a bit of time to sit down and work through. I had this taught to me. And because this was taught to me, I'm passing this forward to you. I'm going to ask you to do some work on this, to actually spend some time on this. The way you change the things that you value, or the way that you bring up the ladder, things that you value the least to things that you value the highest, is seeing the value in them. So let's say my bodybuilding, my training and my education, or my bodybuilding, my coaching and my education was here in terms of the things that I value. If this is the top 3, if I go down, the thing that when I was earlier in my career, I valued the least was actually making money. I couldn't give a monkeys. So, but I wanted more of it. We all do. We want more of it. And I clearly wanted some more clients because, we all want to work with more clients, better clients. So I had this thing on the right-hand side, which was like, well, I do want more money, but I'm just not going after it. But I put all my attention into training, education, and coaching. So what I had taught to me, which was a game changer, was start to see the value in the things that you perceive you value the least, in the things that you value the highest. So I wrote this down. How does becoming more focused on money, leads, and sales, how does me focusing my attention on sales, leads, and making more money help me fulfill the things that I value the highest right now? And then I wrote them down. And you keep writing and you keep writing and you keep writing until you start to smile and go, wow, I see the value in that. You have to do the work to change how you perceive things. So let me give you an example. How does focusing on money, sales, calls, and lead generation help me fulfill the highest value, one of mine being coaching? How does focusing on revenue, focusing on lead generation, and focusing on sales help me fulfill my highest value of coaching? Well, if I focus on lead generation hard, I'm going to increase the number of clients that I'm going to work with. And if I focus on charging the right amount of money, I'm going to actually work with better clients. If I focus on how many sales calls I'm doing, I'm going to 100% see an improvement in the quantity and quality of clients that I'm bringing in. Now, I could keep writing and writing and writing and writing. I have a huge list. And then I go, right, now I'm focused to drive these things. How does focusing my attention on lead generation, sales calls, and money going to help me fulfill my highest value of education? Let's make this very easy. If I focus on money and getting more clients, for one, I'm able to spend more money on courses. What if I was able to focus on more leads, sales, and money? What would I be able to do when it comes to where I want to go with that education? I could travel. Well, I'm going to tell you in my career that nearly year on year, I've increased the amount of money that I charge per session. Year on year, I've become more diligent and systemized with how I focus on lead generation and how many book calls we have and how many clients we have in the business. As a result of that, I've traveled the world. I've earned a lot more money. I've hired a team. I've built a brand, built a community, reinvesting in the business, and I have a life that's truly fulfilling to me. So one thing that I want to say to you here is, if at the moment you don't value money, you don't value driving lead generation, don't value sales, you could say that you don't really value coaching, education, and your passion with training, because if you did, it would complement it hugely. Now, while you're listening to this, you're like, God, that's amazing. I've never really thought of it like that. Boom. If you change the way you think about something, your perspective has shifted. So I've always been focused on money and more clients and more leads and increasing my hourly rate, simply aligned with the things I value. Now, a lot of you will have a bad relationship with money. You'll think it's all to do with flashy cars and watches and all that sort of stuff. It is for people that value it the highest. But if you value education the most, fighting to get more clients, getting more leads, making more sales, and making more money, you just drive it straight into your education. I've spent hundreds of thousands on my education, mentors. Right now, I still spend money on mentors. I'm 45. I've been in the industry 23 years. I'm so disciplined to learn about the business side and taking the business to the next level from other mentors. I can just drop that amount of money on the next mentor, because I value it highly. So here's my advice to you. You can change your perspective, your mindset around the things that you want the most by aligning them with the things that you currently am the most inspired by. You know that there's more lead generation required. You know that there's more money for you to make. You know there's more sales calls for you to book. But the reason you're not doing it is because you don't value it. You might be thinking, what's the mindset? What time should you wake up in the morning? What time should you do this? How many meals a day should you be focused on? What systems you need? You first and foremost need to change your perspective around sales. That is the most important thing to focus on. And then when you are more focused on sales, just like your training, you then track it. You put your data on spreadsheets. How many leads am I booking this? Bringing in this week? How many sales calls am I making this week? How much more money am I making? When am I going to be putting my prices up? And document it. Because when you document your training and you see your lifts going up, what does it do to you and your clients? Feel more motivated, more inspired to do more. Feedback gives you inspiration, motivation to do more and get more out of what you're doing. If you're not tracking it, you're not measuring it, you can't manage it, you won't be inspired by the growth or stagnation, depending on how things are going. So you're not going to be inspired to keep going. If you track your training, you track your nutrition, you track your body composition, you track everything, you're inspired all the time. So I'm encouraging you from this right now to not go in search of mindset hacks. I'm encouraging you to just change your perspective. Because the minute you value money and leads and sales, the minute that you change the quality of everything else that you do, because then the quality of your clients improve, the revenue that you make, the money you can reinvest into the things you value the highest, completely transform. Now, if you found this video helpful, please click like and click subscribe. It keeps you up to date with everything that I'm putting out on a consistent basis. And as always, I hope you got value from this, and I'll see you next time.